Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna hopefully teach you guys how to not ruin your account and how the best start possible to Honkai Star Rail. First and most importantly, we're gonna go over how to make the most out of the resources the game gives you, so that way you hopefully don't have to spend money or get stuck at some point and have to wait through a time gate until you're able to progress further into the story. The first and most important currency we're gonna go over is the premium currency you get throughout the game called the Stellar Jade. This currency is hard to come by, and the only way to get more of it, besides playing the game, is to spend money on it. So you're really going to want to make the most of it. You can use it on multiple things in the game, such as rolling on various banners and getting your stamina back faster, but ideally the main thing you're going to want to spend these on is the limited character banner, since these characters will go away and you may have to wait a long time before you get them again. So ideally you want to save and use them on a character that you really like, that's limited. You can also use them on the standard banner, otherwise known as the Stellar Warp banner. I would not recommend that though. These characters will always be here, and every time you roll on a banner, such as the limited banner, you have a 50% chance of already getting one of these characters on this banner. So ideally, what you'd want to do is use all of your jades on this banner, and you just want to save up these warp tickets. You could get them here in the shop, and you acquire them throughout questing, doing missions, playing the game as well. That's the only time you really want to roll on that banner, is when you have tickets. You do not want to use your jades on it. I know that some of the characters are very cool, but you will eventually get them, just losing 50-50. There's also a special one-time discounted banner for new players. You'll be able to get a 10 roll for the price of 8. And at 50, you'll be able to get your first 5-star. You could actually get this completely for free on the first day of playing. I streamed for 10 hours on the first day, and I was able to get my first 5-star completely for free, no money spent. Just doing some of the things in game. One of the best ways actually to get it very early is the game will give you 20 rolls very early on, and you'll be able to acquire another 20 rolls on the standard banner if you come to this part right here. Click on this tab right here. There is a challenge going on right now where if you reach level 5, you get 10 rolls, and if you reach level 15, you get another 10 rolls. So that will give you 40 in total by the time you're level 15. Meaning at level 15, you could get your first 5-star with those 40 rolls. That should mostly cover the basics of the gacha, so we're gonna move on now to the next part, and probably the second most important thing that you're gonna have to be concerned about early on, and that is your level. Not the level of your characters, but your actual adventure level. So if you see on level 15, a lot of the game is locked behind level. You won't be able to progress until you're a certain level. You won't be able to upgrade things until you're a certain level. So if you want to be able to progress and not have to wait behind an artificial time gate, you want to get as much experience as possible. And one of the best ways to do that is to clear out your daily missions and to spend all of your Trailblazer power before they're capped. You can find your missions over here in this tab right here. If you click on this one, it'll bring you to these. You don't unlock this right away. You'll eventually lock it going through the story pretty early on. And you're going to want to get all 500 every day. There's obviously more, but you only need to get to 500. That'll get you all the rewards. So you can see, it gives you some of the premium currency, and it gives you XP for your Trailblazer. And at the last one, it gives you 15 and 200. So it gives you 1,000 XP per day, and it also gives you 60 jades per day. So you're really going to want to get this done as quickly as possible every day to make sure that you don't miss out on it, because every day that you miss out on it is 1,000 less experience and 60 less jades that you could have had. The other thing that you're going to want to make sure of is you're not going to want to cap on this resource right here, your Trailblazer power. You could use this to do certain fights that give you a lot of resources for leveling up your characters, such as money and experience books. So you're going to want to make sure this never caps, because you can't go over 180, it'll stop, and you don't want to waste those resources. And eventually you might end up getting stuck because you didn't spend it all and you're behind on experience, or you just can't level your characters up enough to beat part of the game. So you're gonna want to make sure that you never cap out on this and that you spend it whenever you have an opportunity to. And that brings us to our last topic of today, which is leveling up our characters. Uh, Early on, the game will give you some trial characters every once in a while. Make sure to use them as much as possible. They're usually very strong early on, and they will help you clear content that otherwise you'd probably very much struggle with. Besides that, you're not gonna want to put too much into your characters. I put a lot into Bronya because I really like her, and I plan to use her throughout the entire game. But for the most part, you don't really want to level your characters too much further than needed. You want to be able to clear the content but not completely stomp it, because later on you're going to want to build different characters that help you clear endgame content. Early on, you're just going to want to have your characters high enough that you could keep progressing the story. So don't go all in on a character. And also, you don't want to spread your resources around too much. You only need a team of 4 to clear it. If you're trying to level up all these characters, you're going to end up running out of resources before you could actually get them to a high enough level to where you could clear all the content without having to grind and wait. So if you want to be able to clear all the content without having to wait or spend money to get more resources, I would recommend focusing on like 4 to 6 characters maybe. Honestly, you shouldn't need more than 4, but sometimes you might want an element of a different type. So I'd say like 6. The MC is actually very good. And you can switch between physical and pyro with her. So she's definitely a good one to level up. Um, and besides that, March 7th is very good early on with her shield. But again, I wouldn't recommend putting too much into your characters. And I would just try and get through with what you have. And then if you get stuck somewhere, then you can level up your characters a little bit. Because eventually it'll be a lot harder to come across the resources that you need to level them up. So early on, you're doing all these quests and you're getting a ton of credits. You're getting a bunch of books. But eventually you're going to run out of quests and you won't have any more books or any more credits. And you're going to have to wait for your Trailblazer power if you want to get more. So that's why it's important to send your Trailblazer power. And that's why it's important to save these early and use just enough to get by the content. And honestly, it's actually more fun. It makes it more challenging and it makes you have to think a little bit harder. With all that in mind, you should hopefully be able to clear the content without getting stuck, and you won't have to spend money to progress when you do get stuck. I wish you all luck on getting the characters you want, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video, or at my Twitch stream, where I am doing a giveaway for the monthly pass. And one lucky viewer will get that in my Discord, and it should be fun. Yeah, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.